Hey everyone, and today I want to talk about adaptlearning.org. On Adapt Learning, there are a few tools that are free and open source that you can use to create e-learning. If you go to the Downloads tab here, you can see that there's an authoring tool, which you can download and run locally. And then there's also a framework, which I'll be talking about today. And then there are some plugins for both. So I'll be talking about how to get started with the framework and show you live me going through the process. So it might not be 100% correct or easy, but we're gonna go through that together. And then there's a lot of cool stuff on Adapt. So one of my favorite things about Adapt is it's completely responsive and it's free. So that's what's really cool. And they're constantly updating it, and I can show you an example of something that was created in Adapt. So I have this course pulled up by Sponge UK, and it's really cool. So this is made in Adapt, and if you see, if I minimize my window here, it's responsive. You can see that. So this is perfect for on mobile devices and also desktop. And if I get started on going through this, you can see various things trickle in as you go down through the learning. And right now, if you see I can't go any further, it's set up to trickle in as you complete some of this. And there's quizzes and everything, and it works completely well with learning management systems. You can send completions and scores, and I know that they're working on an XAPI add-on to this as well, and you can really customize a lot with it, which is pretty cool. So what I wanted to cover is the framework piece. Maybe at some other point I'll cover the authoring tool. So I want to talk about getting started with the framework, which is a lot more technical than the authoring tool. The framework will be more on editing code and writing code, but I'll mostly just go over editing code and getting started and installing the framework on your computer. And what the benefits are to, learning a little bit about this, even if you're not going to be developing e-learning or developing e-learning from the framework or the tool, is if as a designer, I think it's extremely important to know what developers will be doing as they go through this process, how long it takes, because we're often on deadlines and some of this stuff is more technical than other things and takes longer, and some is a lot shorter. So it's good to know a little bit about this, and you can, as I go through the process, you can see how long things take to do. And this is coming from someone who's not a developer in the sense of being like a web developer or software engineer, just someone who has taken some online classes but not necessarily gone deeply into JavaScript or anything like that. So this is good to know for your design and also for working with developers so that you know what can be done. Now let's jump into how to install the Adapt framework, and I'll show you a little bit on customizing and editing some of those files too.